Hey guys, so I know I've been slow uploading the past couple of days. Um, so if you're interested, I'll give you a little bit of an update here. I am not going anywhere, by choice, I will say. However, the last week has been a roller coaster with my health. I went to the emergency room on my birthday, ended up having to go back, and they actually ended up admitting me. I am now home, as you can see, and I'm excited to be here. So I figured we would start out with some really fast reactions, just to kind of build myself back up for some of the longer content. I do hope that you guys will stick around for the short stuff as well as the long stuff. Um, I was planning on trying to do a live stream this week. We may still do that. I just hope that um, I hope that you guys will be kind and understanding while I get the kinks and stuff worked out of that. But I figured today we would start with um, a mukbang from Foodie, and we're going to look at the spaghetti bolognese feast um, and see what this one's about. I do have her bopped up to 1.5 because I can't do how slow she talks. So let's get on over here and see what Miss Ma'am has cooking for us. Okay, take it away, Miss Foodie. Okay, why are we putting, well, that meat, if you see all the white speckles, like how marbled that is, that's a lot of fat in there. And so all that fat's going to cook out and out into the pan. So I don't understand why we were adding so much extra fat. Um, and this also does not look a like a spaghetti bolognese, like a classic one. Um, so I'm very interested to see what it is that she is actually making. Oh,
Spaghetti.
that's a whole lot of cheese. I didn't see, usually when you do a classic spaghetti bolognese, it has onion, celery, garlic, um, and then you usually do some cream in there with your tomato paste and stuff, and you slow cook the meat down. You also, she probably cannot use it. It generally has wine in it that you use to deglaze the pan and stuff to get all that really good flavor in it. I'm not sure that she can use the wine, but everything else she could have done. Um, so I'm not, I mean, unless this is just her twist on spaghetti, but if that's the case, it should just be spaghetti, in my opinion. I think she's overselling this dish for something it isn't.
Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today I made some spaghetti. OGs will know it as church basement spaghetti, but long story. I was craving this so bad, so I'm like, we need
I hate that every time that she says church basement spaghetti, she says, long story. It's not. She went to a Catholic church that had a basement in it, and the older women in the church would go downstairs and they would make spaghetti, and because they ate it in the church basement, they called it church basement spaghetti. Really not a long story.
to get the ingredients. 7-Up Zero, ice cold from the freezer. All right, so look at the cheese. Oh my goodness, yum. Let's have a first bite for you guys. It's so saucy. I love it. Big first bite for you guys. Okay. It's just been cooked, so. Mm.
Okay, and usually on a classic like spaghetti bolognese, you just do Parmesan on top. You don't actually do all of this pounds and pounds of shredded nonsense. And the noodles, I don't know, the noodles kind of look a little overcooked if you ask me. They're amazingly white, and generally that doesn't happen until you've really, really overcooked them.
Oh my gosh. The quality of that mozzarella in Syria, wow, it's so good. And the noodles are buttered. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed your beauty bite.
Okay, so we have fat from the meat, the extra fat that she put in to cook down the meat, and then we've also added more fats by buttering our noodles. It, no wonder she has the stomach problems that she does.
Might get a bit messy because this is a messy food to eat. With a cheese bowl. Yum.
She's hardly chewing. For the amount she's putting in her mouth, there's almost no
Oh my
chew.
gosh. Where there's a will, there's a way. And I found a way to make my favorite spaghetti. The cheese.
Okay, wait. She, where there's a will, there's a way. I'm gonna find a way to make this. Hasn't she already made church basement spaghetti once since she's been here? And she called it like Syrian spaghetti or something like that. Um, I think she has. I swear she thinks that nobody remembers anything because she's already made this dish here. We already knew she could get all the ingredients for it. Oh, the delusion. Guys, I don't know why
Oh.
my internet's acting up.
My husband gets none of this because he doesn't really like it. So he had for himself some shawarma.
Okay, look. Oh, she moved the noodles around. There was so much sauce, like just liquid running off of here. So either she didn't drain the noodles all the way, or that's leftover fat from all the extra fat content that she put into the meat sauce, um, or it's just got that much butter on the noodles. Either way, that does not look appetizing.
And I'm having this fine meal.
So that's all for her.
Mm. So, I'm probably late to the party on this, but there is a movie coming out, I think on the 12th of September. I'm super excited for, and I hope it's not a letdown, but it's The Long Walk. And The Long Walk is a movie from the same people who did like the Hunger Games and stuff like that, because The Long Walk is a dystopian horror, kind of like the Hunger Games, right? But it's basically a Stephen King. Well, I should say, it's a novel from Stephen King, but under his pen name Richard Bachman. And it was actually the first novel, not the first novel to be released, but the first novel that Stephen King wrote in 66, 67. So, yeah, I didn't even know that. I found that fact today. But honestly, it's a story that, if you look at the comments of the trailer of the movie,
Okay, this may be real petty of me to admit. Um, I cannot stand when the girls talk about stuff that I love or that I enjoy. Um, I have read Stephen King for forever. I love horror. In fact, in her live stream today, I popped in to listen for a little bit, and she was talking about Rob Zombie movies and how much she loves Rob Zombie movies. And I was like, don't, please don't take something of mine that I love. Like, leave it alone. I know that sounds petty, but it just makes me cringe when they talk about stuff that I absolutely love. Makes me nervous I'm going to be a girl one day.
so many people have read the book. And if you're going to see the movie, I recommend you read the book first. Like, have to, lazim. um, Everyone who's read it never forgets it. It's one of those stories that you never forget. It's so good. It's just like, it's so good. It's so, I don't know, it just sticks with you. Mm. The little bits of carrot add like a sweetness. I do put like a tablespoon of sugar in my sauce to cut the acidity of the tomato.
Okay, if you would have put the cream in, like a classic recipe calls for, if you're going to call this spaghetti bolognese, the cream also cuts that acidity without, all the extra sugar. That is quite a look right there. Um, so hold on, guys. We're gonna, while I'm right here, sorry, I try not to do this while I have you guys here, but I just, I can't. Okay, and proceed.
Mm. The sauce is so good. So, yeah. It's basically about people, I don't know how many, like 100, I think, per year. There's like an annual event where you
Government electric.
go on a long walk. Basically, 100 participants have to walk. There's no finish line. You just keep walking until you can't walk anymore, and there can only be one survivor. So if you slow down below, I think a certain stride, like speed. If you slow down below a certain speed, you get a warning. On your third warning, I won't ruin it for you.
Well, you made it pretty clear what happened, so you kind of already have ruined it for us. However, I would be completely screwed if I was in that situation. I am 4'10". My stride length is not what other people's are. My husband is 5'8". And one of his strides is two of mine. I might as well just sit down and start and just let what's going to be because my little legs don't have it in them.
But you have to walk or else, and it's suspenseful. It's dreary. It's, you know how dystopian stories make you feel. It's just so yeah. I think the first story for Stephen King to ever come out was Carrie, if I'm not mistaken, which is a really good movie. I'm sure you guys have seen it with Sissy Spacek. The mother is the real freaking lunatic in that movie. Not Carrie. You know? Man, this is so good. Any vegetable, if I had any vegetable, I would have included it in here. Zucchini, mushrooms are good in pasta and spaghetti. It's a little watery at the bottom, but it was made with real tomatoes, and actually reheating it tomorrow will evaporate some of that liquid anyway. So the day after for pasta sauces, stews, always so much better, right?
Because it's had time to marry the flavors together.
Mm-mm. So I'm very excited for the movie. Though we don't have a theater here, when it comes out, I guess I'll be able to see it. But I hope it's good. Actually, from what I've seen on Rotten Tomatoes so far, 96%. That's amazing. I'm excited for that. I hear The Conjuring: The Last Rites, though, didn't get good reviews, and I don't see too many people saying very good things about it, which really is sad because when The Conjuring first became a series, James Wan was doing something that was unprecedented. Like, his level of creepiness in movies was just original, you know?
Okay, well, the first two were really good because they were actually based on real cases that the Warrens did. After that, they started writing their own storylines for it and making up their own kind of versions of certain cases. And so it started to feel a little bit more fake because it wasn't things that we knew the Warrens to have actually been involved in. Um, well, that's what it is for me, anyways. I had always, I told you guys I love the weird and creepy. I had followed the Warrens for a very long time before anybody was making movies about them or anything else. And that's what it was for me. The first two were really grounded in some of their history. And then after that, it kind of started to stray a lot from what they had originally done.
The king of jump scares and creepy atmospheric, settings. And I don't know. But after like the second Conjuring, to me, it kind of started going a bit downhill.
I just told you why.
Same thing with the Insidious movies. So it's kind of disappointing, but his movies have gotten a bit, I think, a little bit cheesy. If you know what I mean. Oh, I made a huge plate. I think I'm gonna put this away. There's some leftover sauce.
If you guys can hear my dog snoring, I am so sorry.
And tomorrow I can have this for lunch or something. Or later if I'm hungry. It's still kind of early. It's only like 4. But this is like a lunch supper. So what would you call that? I know breakfast and lunch is called brunch. But what would be lunch supper? A lupper? Yeah. This is my lupper. And there's no more cheese. I gotta add more cheese to soak up the sauce. And the only bread I could find right now is pita bread.
Okay, cheese does not soak things up. Noodles do that. Carbs do that. If you would mix some of those noodles that have nothing on them in with that sauce, it would start to soak some of that stuff up. Just just an idea. Don't have to listen to me, but generally carbs is what soaks that up.
Mmm. Which I will not eat with pasta. I won't do. Uh, Anyways, guys, so yeah, definitely check out the book, The Long Walk, before watching the movie. I'm telling you, you don't want to watch the movie and then read the book. Just do it. Just go out now, read it. I finished that book in one day. It was just that good. I don't know if you guys can hear the street noise, but it's kind of loud. There's always more.
We can always hear it. Always. You said you were moving to the middle of the country. It was so nice, so quiet. And all we have gotten is street noises since you've been there.
Motorcycles and stuff. But yeah, it was that good. I finished it in like a day. I couldn't put it down. I'm telling you, it's one of those books that just sticks with you. And then go and watch the movie. So yes, and I hope you enjoyed this meal. Like I said, I'm going to reheat it and thicken it up a bit and add more cheese the next time I eat it. I love cheese. Is there anyone who doesn't love cheese? Comment below. Even if you're vegan, there's vegan cheese.
Vegan cheese does not taste the greatest. Just saying. And I like cheese. Like, I'm a fan of cheese. However, I would not eat anywhere near the amount of cheese that she does on this stuff.
So, anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
What is she doing? Did she just curse us? What is happening? Oh my gosh. Um, okay, guys, in the comments below, please tell me, is that just a shine we are seeing on her top here? Or does she have nothing on under that and it's actually see-through? And we're just seeing bra. Um, Miss Ma'am, Miss Modesty. Okay, and I don't get why she leaves that in there. She goes through and she edits these afterwards. When I was doing my cooking content, you would think I was crazy if you ever watched me do it, but since I was filming it, all of it myself, and I had nobody to help me, it would get to the end of whatever I was doing. So, like, if I was holding, here, we'll say that this is a plate of food. So, if I was holding up a plate of food and I was like, I hope you enjoy, I would sit and I would hold that pose for a while, because then when I went back in to edit, I had a good 4 or 5 seconds of me going like this, and then me getting up and moving so that I could clip it in a spot where it was like, hey, enjoy. And that was the end of the video. That's the end of what you saw. I think some of this comes down to laziness, if you want to know the honest truth. Or, I don't know, do you think there's a reason that she's showing us her getting up and we're getting the full side angle and everything else? I don't know. So let me know in the comments about those two things. Do you think that that top was see-through? And do you think she's leaving herself getting up at the end on purpose? Um, I know this was a pretty short one, but I'm glad to be back, guys, and hopefully we will not have any interruptions for a while again. But we're just gonna have to play it by ear at this point. Until I see you guys again, though, I am gonna remind you that I need you to be good and behave yourselves. But if you can't, at least do it right and make me proud, and then post it online so we can talk about it later. Bye, guys.